Hi everyone, welcome to Africa Arise, where we bring you authentic news from across Africa. Let's take a look at this video.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, fellow Ambazonians, wherever you might find yourself on the globe. All money, place, day, shake, day. This is your humble servant, the Vice President of the Ambazonian Governing Council, Dr. Julius Nyih. I am delighted, as always, to be with you today in order to look at our dynamic quest for freedom, but also to outline some of the steps that we need to undertake, as we've done in the past, in order to continue occupier on the back foot. I will begin first by giving my huge appreciations to our valiant soldiers on ground zero, to our civilian population on ground zero, on ground one, in the dungeons of La République and other Western countries who support the CPDM cabal in Yaoundé. I know even time in jail has not stopped the likes of Dr. Cholo Kasayaba, the likes of Benedict Kwa, Pascal Kiki, and all those in Yaoundé, the pioneers, Sissoko Ayuk and his team in the dungeons of La République, from advocating for total freedom of the Ambazonian people, of the Ambazonian land, of the Ambazonian psychic. The Ambazonian quest for freedom is an ideal rooted in truth, rooted in inalienable rights to self-determination, in inalienable right to external pursuit of happiness, internal pursuit of dignity, and for a people who were bestowed part of the Gulf of Guinea known as Ambazonia. My countrymen and women, we find ourselves today in exactly the same position that we wanted to be. That after 9 years of fighting illegal occupation, one of the occupiers was bold enough, in the likes of Mr. Issa Churuma, to publicly accept that a problem existed, which the Yaoundé cabal had refused for a long time. For that, I wish to thank Mr. Issa Churuma Bakari, who won the popular vote in our neighbor's election. I wish to thank him for being bold enough to accept that the Ambazonian crisis, the illegal occupation of Ambazonia, the killing of Ambazonian children, mothers, fathers, is the root cause of the now collapsing Cameroon. Countrymen and women, what is happening in Cameroon is as a result of the discipline of our defense forces, particularly the Ambazonian Defense Forces and sister forces. It is the discipline of the Ambazonian civilian in adhering to the instructions and the prescriptions and the strategies that we put in place. For that, I solemnly salute and congratulate you for towing the line. You have shown with determination over the last 9 years how an occupation can be actions, through self-defense actions, through community mobilization, through diplomacy, that you can uproot a 64-year-old occupation with determination, with resolve. And that has drawn in emulation from the civilian population of our neighboring country, La République du Cameroon. What is happening in Cameroon today is as a result of the unresolved crisis between Cameroon and Ambazonia. Honorable Wilbur told them 9 years ago that the Ambazonian quest for freedom, for total independence, if go unresolved, will be the issue that will bring down Cameroon. And Cameroon is going down the drains today because of the war their octogorian president declared on Ambazonia in 2017. Cameroon is facing social, political, and to a great extent civil unrest because of their illegal occupation of Ambazonia. And I thank the Ambazonian people, I thank the Ambazonian Governing Council leadership under the auspices of Dr. Cho Lucas Ayaba and all other movements that collaborate with the Ambazonian Governing Council for devising, for operationalizing, and for monitoring and evaluating all the revolutionary strategies that have brought to bear the results that you see today. One of our main objectives was to make Ambazonia ungovernable. And today, you can also find out that it's not only Ambazonia that is ungovernable. Cameroon itself is falling into the abyss of ungovernability. That is due to your strategies of collapsing them politically, collapsing them economically. And for that, the biggest honor goes to our civilian population, but most importantly, to the brave fighters fighting under the flag, irrespective of the unit. For all the brave warriors who defend their block, who defend their rooftop, who defend their gutter hole, and who defend their community with dedication, with sacrifice. I also wish to salute those who have fallen before us, and it is the result of their sacrifice and our determination not to rest until the cause for which they fell is achieved, that we are able to exact pain on the Cameroon government as it is happening. However, for last month, the bravest award, Dr. Cho's Award of Bravery, goes to ADF Ndonga Mantung and all the other forces fighting in Ndonga. October Bravery Award goes to Ndonga Mantung, all the units in Ndonga. As we move forward, I know everyone is jittery. Everyone is monitoring, including my humble self and the leadership of the Ambazonian Governing Council, what is going on in Cameroon. I wish to assure the Ambazonian people that although what is going on in Cameroon is as a result of the unresolved war between Cameroon and Ambazonia, the civil actions, the self-defense actions, the political actions, the economic actions taken in Cameroon are an internal matter for Cameroonians to deal with. What is happening in Cameroon has nothing to do with Ambazonia. What is happening in Cameroon is an internal issue for Cameroonians and not for Ambazonia. So any ghost towns declared in Cameroon have no effect in Ambazonia. We continue to observe our country Sunday, which is every Monday like today, until freedom comes. I hear Cameroon has copied your determination, your strategies, and they are using them fruitfully against the CPDM cabal in Yaoundé. However, what happens at the east of the Mongo has nothing to do at the west of the Mongo. We will continue to employ our revolutionary strategies in order to further the aspirations of our people. We also note that although Issa Chiruma won the operational way that the Republic of Cameroon works, they denied him as they denied Frundi his victory in 1992. And I can assure you that that denial plus the Ambazonia War of Liberation is what is going to collapse Cameroon. Based on our triad approach, we are happy that Cameroon is moving in the direction that we had wanted them to move towards, but they are not yet there. Once certain indices are judged to have been achieved on the ground by the War Council, we will activate the takeover plan. It has been rehearsed by the ADF, sister force, the civilian population in the areas that your sister forces and the ADF control. And at the appropriate time, we will embark on the final push. So I call on the civilian population, I call on the brave fighters, irrespective of the unit you fight in, as long as you fight for the flag, to be at alert as you've been in the last month and a half, to be ready for the final assault on Cameroon. Cameroon is going down the drains. And for those black legs, your days in Ambazonia are numbered. For those who have enabled and sustained occupation in Ambazonia, the time for you to start moving out is now. There is no place for blacklegism. There is no place for conspirators. There is no place for regime apologies, colonial regime apologies in Ambazonia. Countrymen and women, in the diplomatic scene, Paul Biya and the cabal that took over Biya are known as friendly dictators. So Paul Biya is a friendly dictator in the West. That is why you are harassed, you are undermined, your efforts are looked the other way, and you as a victim is being portrayed as the perpetrator of genocide in Ambazonia. Over the last 9 years, more than 70,000 people have died, women, children, men, and girls. But the international community has looked the other way because in the books of the West, they consider Paul Biya and the Atagangis and the Ngongo who took over Paul Biya's regime in Yaoundé as friendly dictators. So they are not for your interests and they will never bait for you. It is in this guise that I call upon you to redouble your efforts and know that your liberation is in your own hands. And as you rose up in 2016, 2000 up once more, and that will be the final match. Your boys are ready, your girls are ready, your intel services are ready, your strategies are ready, and through the collaborative efforts of the AGOVC and other movements, I can assure you that there is political consensus, there is community consensus for a transition authority on the ground when the time is right. We call on all of you, especially those who were sitting on the fence and telling us that the Ambazonian issue was in order to provide the necessary tool equipment by your civilian population that is needed by those defending your freedom on ground zero so that we can finish this once and for all. Fellow countrymen and women, irrespective of what happens in Cameroon, we invite Cameroon to come to the negotiation table. For those Ambazonians or Cameroonians who are thinking that Ambazonia will settle for federalism, you are making a mistake. We are the never again generation. We will not power. We will still fight for full independence while extending a hand for negotiations towards him. Because Ambazonia has never been, Ambazonia will never be part of Cameroon. For those of you harboring intentions of going into federation with Cameroon, true nationalists, this never again generation will not entertain that. We will fight Cameroon irrespective of who is president in Cameroon until we gain our full independence. If you think Chiruma is going to come because he's promised you federalism, you would align. We will fight you and Chiruma until Ambazonia gains its total freedom. We can never cohabit with Francophones or what they call Cameroonians. Ambazonia is wiser. It has taken Cameroonians 9 years to understand that they were dealing, and they are dealing, with a satanic regime under Biya. We knew this and told them, but they said we should be crushed. This is their time to fight. No Ambazonia will fight for Cameroon. No Ambazonia troop will cross the border. We will humble Cameroon on our own turf. We have the expertise. We have the experience over 9 years. We have the strategies to do that. And I can assure you that the days of your freedom are coming near. I can assure you that those who have been hankered out in the diaspora, the days you go back to ground zero are coming closer. I employ all of you to support your forces, to support your civilian population as you've always done, because minus you, the hardship that has been melted upon us by Cameroon would have ended this quest for freedom. But I know deep inside my heart that an Ambazonia is always an Ambazonia and harbors the Ambazonian spirit, the Ambazonian blood. Going forward, as Cameroon is undergoing civil, political, social unrest, I call on all transportation agencies to boycott using the Kekem, using the Buddha Road, and that all transportation to the northern zone must go through Kumba, must go through Mayamen, must go through Manfi, and back to Widekum and up to Bamenda. I also call on our civilian population to trade more openly and at a greater extent with Biafra, and stop all goods supply, especially food material, going to Cameroon. I hear a pack of 6 tomatoes in Douala is 2,000 colonial francs. I want a pack of 6 tomatoes to be 10,000 colonial francs in Douala. Trade within yourselves in Ambazonia, trade with Biafra, and make sure that you keep the cost of living low for Ambazonians. You have shown through your determination that you can withstand. You have shown through your sacrifice that you will accept nothing but full sovereignty. Federalism is not for this generation, and it will never be for Ambazonia. And for those of you who enabled elections to take place in Ambazonia, for those of you who came in and were parading for the regime, we have fully compiled the list. You are on watch. We will track you. We will bring you to justice at the appropriate time. And for any issues, for any initiatives concerning CPDM, remember CPDM is banned in Ambazonia. If you take bribes, if you take money, and you think the regime will come and support you, a dying regime will run for itself. And there will be no place for black legs. There will be no place for enablers. There will be no place for chiefs. there will be no place for MPs in Ambazonia. As such, we ask you to desist from supporting a collapsing regime. We ask you to stand back and do not mingle Ambazonia with Cameroon, because these are two different states. All the structures, all the strategies, all the plans are being worked in collaboration with other movements, and at the appropriate time, when we get Cameroon to where we want them to be, they are on the path going to where we want them to be. Total chaos, total civil war. We will usher in a new beginning. And until then, I salute you all. Stay blessed. Hail, hail, land of promise, Ambazonia.
Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more exciting updates from Africa Arise.